71 degrees and sunny here, middle of March, Pittsburgh. It's going to be mid-70s tomorrow. Then it's going to drop. It's going to be in the 50s and 40s next week or so. So I'm going to try and get some stuff done today. Yesterday I was running the van, and I went to turn the generator on. I had it running for a couple seconds, and now it's clicking. So pretty much everything on the driver's side of the RV stopped working altogether now. Can't get the furnace going. I think it's that motherboard. I did end up getting the hood exhaust fan to work today, but now I gotta mess with the generator too. All it does is click, and it's not like a dead battery click. It's more like a starter type click or solenoid or something. So I don't know much about them. I'm going to see what I can figure out, and I'll do some research. I got my magnet here. I try to run this over. I can hear it picking up metal. Anywhere that my RV tires might end up when I pull out of here. Figure I've done a lot of work out in this driveway. I can hear it picking up stuff. Oh, I probably just dropped it underneath. Let's see what we got. Well, got a broken off screw there, tap con, and a washer so far, and that's just a couple passes. It's all stuff that can give you a flat tire. Well, I found about a dozen screws, maybe even more, a couple more than a dozen, and a couple lug nuts, a razor blade, and just some other little stuff. But I'll run it again, obviously, before I go. Right now I'm going to go inside and take this meter in, test all my fuses and breakers. I'm going to start there and work my way out. Alright, I got 13.5 volts on DC on every single fuse on each end. All the loads are pushing 13.5 out. AC's pushing 122.5. Nothing wrong in the panel in there, so onto the generator. Let's see if I can figure out how this thing is wired up, because at some point it has to go into the kitchen to where the button is to turn it on from inside. We'll just do a quick test here. We'll put this on summer. There's a 5 amp fuse there. I should check that. I will check that. I don't know if you can hear it. Not sure what that is. I'm not going to get too far with this without a wiring diagram of some type. I think that board has seen some better days. I guess the problem could be in there, but I'm not going to mess around buying stuff that might not be wrong. Anything that I could figure out in here I tested, and it's all testing good. I feel it here, it's getting spark. It's obvious getting spark. Then there's a fuel pump back there, which it's also working. I'm not sure what that round thing is there. I'll have to do some research. Flight Systems Model 305. Whatever that is has been replaced. It's some kind of module. It's not where I'm feeling the clicking though. when I hit the button, it's not there. It's over here somewhere. Oh shoot, I don't want to lose that. Dang it. I'll have to get that. Not quite sure where that's coming from. This might... I'm going to have to look up a wiring diagram to see what all these wires are doing in there. So I have about 14 volts coming across this 5 amp fuse. That tells me it's not the battery. The only place I can actually feel the clicking is on the fuel pump. I put my hand in places I probably should not have put it, looking for that clicking. That's the only place I can feel anything like it. Not having a working generator or furnace is, well, not a easy thing to deal with on the road if you're boondocking. The Mr. Buddy heater has no thermostat, so I don't want to leave that on all night. It get too hot. Electric wise, if I'm not plugged in somewhere, I don't have solar, and not having a generator, that can make things rough. So I'm going to do some research now online, but first I have to sprinkle ant stuff around my whole entire camper because I found 4 ants in the last 2 days inside, last year and this year. So then I also, later on tonight when it cools down a bit, I have to go through all my food, anything that's ants would like, sugary or whatever, I have to take in, put them into containers, or really sealed wall containers, and put them in the fridge or in the house, the garage here, so I can figure out what's going on with these ants here. Hey buddy, what's up? Why are you standing on my feet? I did cut some more of the bamboo out. Look at the size of these bamboos. It goes all the way up to that tip there. It's stuck in there with vines. That's why I didn't pull that piece out. Well, this is supposed to keep the ants out. Supposed to sprinkle it around really good around the whole area. Then you're supposed to mist it with a hose. I'm not quite sure what exactly that does to keep them away. I've noticed them in the bathtub and in the sink last year and this year. Maybe I should close the gray tank up instead of leaving that open. Well, I dampened all the way around. Hopefully that is going to help. We'll see. Before I go in though, start looking up the wiring schematics on that generator. I think I'm going to go up. I have that one little leak right above my head when I'm in the recliner. It's right by the antenna. So it will be right there. I'll have to grab my ladder and find my patch. I also have another one somewhere right about here in the bathroom. It's coming into the light fixture. They both must be like little pinholes that I can't seem to find because it only happens when it rains really hard. So I'm going to see what I can do about fixing them now. Well, that patch has been sitting in the garage all winter and it's not mixing very well. It's really thick, so I'm going to have to leave it out in the sun. For now, I'm just going to spray coat this Flex Seal on those 2 spots. It's If it works, it works. If not, whatever. It's not going to hurt anything. And then once this other stuff dries up, or sorry, loosens up, I'm going to have to see if I can thin it all with thinner or mineral spirits or whatever. So I'll leave it out today and I'll bring it back out tomorrow when it's 75. And if I can get that to go, this will be dry by tomorrow for sure. Then I'll be able to put that stuff right over it. On this side I saw two pinholes that looked like they might have been air bubbles from when I patched the roof, or when I redid the roof. And I did around the whole TV antenna and along the AC, because both leaks are on one side of the AC or the other. Over here, as you can see, the bathroom exhaust fan sticking up there. I sprayed all around that. I didn't see any kind of holes or anything here. Then I sprayed around this leg here of that roof rack, and I sprayed around the vent, the bathroom vent for the toilet net. We'll see if that does anything. I don't expect that spray stuff to do anything, but it'll work at least as a primer coat until this stuff thins out a little bit. I realized that I mentioned in the past that I worked on generators as a job in the past. Those were totally different. I mean, they work the same way, so I understand how they work. But these were large generators that I could take apart and easily work on. Not tucked in this little cubby hole. If I have to take this thing out, I mean, I don't even know how to get it out. Where the fuel line is, I can't see anything around it. I did see online though that if the oil's too low, it won't start. It'll do that clicking noise. Well, I checked the oil. It's right at the top of the full line. Also said bad connections or grounds, to check all this stuff. I'm going to do that tomorrow. There's two grounds I'm supposed to check: a chassis ground and a housing ground. So I'll take them apart and clean it. If that works, great. If not, the next step is really taking the whole thing out and working on a bench. I'll be able to fix it then if I have it out of the thing. Unless, of course, the starter's seized up or the motor's seized up. Might not be worth it at that point. So I did do a hard reset the way it said to do it online, and it did not work. It clicked louder actually after I did that. So maybe I'll try it again. Well, it's the next day, Thursday. I got the roof patched up better, and now it's looking like it's going to rain, so hopefully it dries before that. Also, I can't get the starter to budge on that generator. I put power 12 volts directly to it. I think I didn't pull the whole thing out yet, but it's either a bad starter or that motor's bad. I'm thinking it's a starter. I'm hoping it's a starter. So that's going to have to be a project for another day. I'll look in to see how much it's going to cost. If it's cheaper just to get a little Honda 2200 inverter generator, I'll just do that instead. Well, I think that's about it. There's not much else I can do today besides clean inside, clean a little more. It's getting ready to rain. Fire somewhere. Well, yeah, everybody, hope you all have a great weekend.